Parliamentary debate on last week's SONA. Opposition parties will all be present debating points raised by the President's address, in which he will respond on Thursday. To discuss more on what to expect ahead of the presidential debate, Lukhanyo Calata joins us now live from our parliamentary studios. Lukhanyo, good afternoon to you. We understand no parties will be suspended from the proceedings tomorrow, but the House is prepared for any disruptions. Tell us about the new rules of the House that could come into play tomorrow.
Natasha, good afternoon. Well, the sitting of the joint sitting last week to allow the President to deliver his State of the Nation address took place under the new rules. And obviously, we had understood, or at least over the weekend, we had said that there is potentially some political parties may be excluded from the debate, after they were asked to, remove themselves from the House last week. We got a little bit of clarity on the matter from the Parliament spokesperson, Lukhanyo Jacobs, earlier this morning. And this is what he said. It's a bit of a technical issue, Natasha. Under the new rules, a member of Parliament is only suspended from the House for the duration of that sitting if they do comply with the Speaker's request for them to move out of the House. If the member, or in the EFF's case, if the whole party refuses to comply with the Speaker, refuses to comply with the Sergeant-at-Arms, or even refuses to comply with the instructions of the security services, of Parliament security services, once they are then physically removed from the National Assembly, what then happens is that the party or the member is then automatically suspended for 5 days. But we did not see that last week. What we saw last week is that in the case of Mr. Lukhanyo from COPE, he willingly walked out after the Speaker had asked him to move out of the chamber. So too did the EFF. Once the Sergeant-at-Arms was called in and she intervened, the EFF walked out on their own steam. So based on that, they were only suspended for the duration of the State of the Nation address. They are allowed to be in the House tomorrow, which then means that they'll take part fully in the debate that's on the State of the Nation address. So those will, and obviously the new rules will be in place, and the EFF as well as Mr. Lukhanyo can then take part in the debates from tomorrow onwards. Natasha.
All right, so no exclusions, a full House expected tomorrow. What will be the key emphasis coming from some of the parties then, Lukhanyo?
Natasha, the Democratic Alliance, obviously last week already, if you remember, they were wearing these brochures, and what these brochures said, something like 8.3 million jobless in South Africa. So critically for them, the issue of the economy, the issue of the slow growth of the economy, the issue of 8.3 million people that are unemployed in South Africa. We spoke a little to other parties as well. The UDM, for instance, last week also said the issue of the economy is very, very key to them. The NFP said education. They were very worried about the low standards and the crisis that's currently gripping education in the country. For the Freedom Front Plus, what they said to us was that obviously their constituency is to a very large extent farmers, and obviously the issue of drought is critical. And they obviously is going to be something that they raise, the amount of assistance that has been offered to farmers and to those communities that are affected by drought. The Freedom Front Plus felt very much that it's not sufficient, at least up until this stage. Natasha.
All right, so the debate then is over 3 days, and then the President responds on Thursday, so essentially wrapping up SONA.
Exactly right, ma'am. The President delivered the State of the Nation last week, Thursday. Then every political party in Parliament will then have an opportunity to respond to that State of the Nation address. The key thing that I think will be raised over the next few days is the issue of time, because obviously the bigger, the larger the votes that you garnered in the last election means that you'll have, say, maybe 10 minutes speaking time. And if you have 1 or 2 seats in the National Assembly, then maybe like the party will get 3 or 4 minutes to then respond to the president's debate. So I think that is an issue that we're likely to see come up yet again as these parties respond to the State of the Nation debate. And then I think obviously, as is custom, the president will then come in on Thursday. He'll then essentially have the last word, and that will then wrap up the proceedings around the State of the Nation address, as well as the debate, and then obviously we'll prepare for the budget speech, I think, which is expected from next week. And then, the Parliament will then go back to the committees, essentially the bread and butter issues that Parliament deals with. But this week we will wrap up the State of the Nation address and the debates.
All right, Lukhanyo, thank you very much for that update. Lukhanyo Calata live from our Parliamentary studios, just giving us a look at what we can expect over the next few days as that debate starts on the president's SONA address from tomorrow.